On September 21st, 2025, the streets of Manila erupted as tens of thousands of Filipinos took to the streets to march against corruption. What began as a peaceful protest soon turned violent when clashes broke out between demonstrators and police. At least 17 people were arrested after throwing rocks and setting barricades on fire. Police responded with water cannons, and according to reports, some officers even threw rocks back at the crowd. City officials estimate that nearly 50,000 people gathered in Luneta Park, carrying Philippine flags and banners that read, "No more, too much, jail them." Their anger focused on a massive corruption scandal involving flood control projects, thousands of them worth over 545 billion pesos or $9.5 billion. The scandal came to light in July 2025, when President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., in his annual State of the Nation address, admitted that there were widespread anomalies in flood control projects. Investigations revealed that out of 9,855 projects, a majority showed signs of being ghost projects, approved on paper but never actually built. Adding fuel to public outrage was the revelation that Sarah and Pacifico Discaya, a wealthy couple who owned several construction companies, had been awarded lucrative contracts. Their sudden wealth, including dozens of European and American luxury cars and SUVs, became a symbol of corruption and inequality. The anger spilled over on September 21st for symbolic reasons. That date marks the anniversary of former President Ferdinand Marcos Sr.'s declaration of martial law in 1972. It is also remembered as the setting for two people power revolutions that toppled corrupt regimes in the Philippines. For many protesters, the day carried historic weight, a reminder of the Filipino people's power to resist corruption and dictatorship. Christian churches of various denominations organized the demonstration, with the Catholic Church playing a leading role. As Al Jazeera's Barnaby Lowe reported, the church has historically been able to galvanize the Filipino people, making the rally one of the largest in recent years. President Marcos Jr. has tried to distance himself from the scandal. He set up an independent commission to investigate, calling the contracts anomalous. Speaking after the protests, Marcos said he did not blame citizens for their anger and urged demonstrators to remain peaceful. Yet, at the same time, he placed the army on red alert as a precaution against unrest. Manila Mayor Francisco Isko Moreno Domagoso confirmed that police were injured in clashes and had to be rushed to hospitals for treatment. On Facebook, he appealed for calm, writing, "Let's maintain order and peace in our city. Let's all be careful. The scandal has already shaken public trust in the government. Billions of pesos that should have gone to flood protection appear to have been siphoned off, even as Filipinos regularly endure devastating floods and typhoons. The immediate impact is a political crisis. Protests of this scale can destabilize the administration, forcing Marcos Jr. to either pursue sweeping reforms or risk losing credibility. The scandal also threatens investor confidence in the Philippines as foreign partners question the transparency of government contracts. Economically, the loss of 545 billion pesos in misused funds is staggering. That amount could have built hospitals, schools, and genuine flood control systems. Instead, it has heightened inequality at a time when many Filipinos face inflation, unemployment, and vulnerability to climate-related disasters. Socially, the protests underscore growing frustration with systemic corruption that has spanned decades. They also revive memories of authoritarian rule under Marcos Sr., creating political risks for the current president, whose family name still carries deep divisions in Philippine society. The September 21st protests are not just about one scandal. They are about the Filipino people's demand for accountability, transparency, and justice. As anger continues to mount, the coming months will determine whether President Marcos Jr. can restore trust through reforms or whether these rallies mark the beginning of a new political movement.